Breaking down Friendship sports. This is the Tigers Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on a Wednesday night, first Wednesday of November, which means the last week of the regular season, which means there's a lot of stuff that needs to be decided all over the hub city and around. We're going to talk a little bit about what Friendship's got in front of them. Find my numbers here. We went through the schedule for football earlier, so I'm not going to repeat that, but I do want to give the volleyball girls some love here because there's one UIL team still in the playoffs and 3 TAPS teams in the playoffs. Thursday afternoon, Lubbock Cooper plays Grapevine in the 5A regional round. That's at 5 p.m. at Wichita Falls Memorial. And then Saturday in the TAPS regional round, Trinity Christian plays Fort Worth All Saints at 5 p.m. at Clyde. Lubbock Christian plays Plano Coram Deo at 3 p.m. at Abilene Christian High School. And All Saints actually plays Friday. They play Decatur Victory Christian at 5 p.m. at Monday High School, which was one of the places I'd never heard of. I had to look at it on the map. They're somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. So a lot of volleyball still going on, but football is in the stretch run. So we're going to talk to Friendship. I know you're watching on TV. You're going to see these guys talk. Jay Northcutt, I want to have you introduce your guys. I'll wave at the camera there. Camera's up there. So that folks know who's talking when they get the mic in front of them.
Sure. The guy over here, good-looking guy here is Maddux Archibald, and his good-looking brother is Payton Archibald. This good-looking guy here is Isaiah Gilliam.
Both tight ends?
Both could be tight ends. One of them's a tight end, and one of them maybe wants to be a tight end. I don't know. He's a wide out for us. And then Isaiah is one of our slot receivers and plays a little tight end as well.
Chip Darden would be proud of you because every time I talk to Chip for my weekly thing, tight ends come up because that's what
Chip likes tight ends, yeah.
Yeah, so yes.
Yeah,
and that's
they make a difference.
So you guys are, I'm in good company here. So
absolutely.
When you guys talk, by the way, I forgot to tell you, grab it above the silver and hold it close. Oh, we're going to have to, there we go. And use your outside voice because he can adjust you in there. So, all right, well, we talked about, first of all, you guys are playing on tomorrow night, Thursday night, which is weird for me. I don't know, besides playoffs, I don't remember you guys ever having a Thursday game unless it was playing LISD team.
Well, we started off the year with one. This year
you
with Byron
did,
Nelson.
Yes.
So, yeah, we at least got one of those under our belt, and we scrimmaged on a Thursday as well. We scrimmaged Amarillo High.
So coaches are creatures of habit. Am I okay saying who Grandpa is?
Sir.
Tell folks who your grandpa is.
My grandpa is Jerry Glasgow, the head softball coach at Texas Tech.
And just when you said that, your face lit up and you looked a lot like Grandpa.
Yes, sir.
When you see him on TV, because your grandpa has a heck of a time out there when he's coaching. It looks like he's having a blast.
Yes, sir.
And why shouldn't he, especially when you do what they did. So you guys know, being around, and Mom's a coach too, coaches are very much creatures of habit. Has Coach stayed calm this week? Your coaches stayed calm this week as you guys with a shorter week?
Yes, sir. We stayed calm. We kept the same schedule as always and practiced harder. And we had to practice harder because we only have one less day.
So, Maddux, you guys are all offensive guys, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have the calmer coach.
At times.
Most of the time.
So, Jay, has Coach Roboto, has he kept his blood pressure down in this shorter week?
Yeah, for the most part, Coach Rib, oddly enough, has mellowed a little bit, in his time here at Friendship, going on, 9 years. Definitely mellowed a lot since the good old West Texas days, no doubt.
Which, by the way, when I talked to him the other day, I remembered who was chatting about him the other day. It was at the thing at Plainview. It was the former Friendship coaches, and then the Parr clan had some stories about him. So
yeah, Coach Rib's like the godfather of West Texas.
Yes,
he's got a hand in a lot of head coaches around the area, and definitely a lot of players, and a lot of people know him for sure.
I got completely derailed there. Thursday night, Friendship goes to San Angelo Central. That game's on Double T 97.3 FM. I assume. I don't think there's any tech stuff going on. That game, it's kind of a weird situation. Both teams are in the playoffs. Both teams will be Division II out of District 2-6A. This one, basically, it comes down to whoever, I don't know if you heard me, Les Miles used to get really mad at us when we'd say whoever the loser is. He'd say, no. If that's who finishes second on the scoreboard. I don't think I can quite do that. Whoever doesn't have more points, let's put it that way, will have to go to El Paso for the first round. The winner gets to stay home. So, Isaiah, you haven't gotten a chance to talk here. Grab that microphone. It's cool to be in the playoffs. You know you guys are in the playoffs. You know that you don't get to play for at least one more week. Is it weird, though, to know that there's still something that you have to kind of come out and play hard for in that last one? And I know what Coach is going to say when he kept telling me the other day that you guys have heard, you don't need any excuses. You're just going to go play hard anyway. But knowing you have a lot to play for, does that motivate you guys even more?
Yes, sir, for sure. Honestly, we're just going to go out there and play.
What's this week been like getting ready, knowing you're in the playoffs? Because you've been at Lubbock Christian for a few years where they know they're going to be in the playoffs pretty quick again this year. So you know what it's like, but what's the week of preparation been like?
It's kind of been like any other week, to be honest. They like to not change things up too much. So.
Good answer, Isaiah.
Yes, it is. See, I told you he was going to – he won't scold me because – If he scolds me, I know somebody will scold him right back that he's known a lot longer than I have even. So, Payton, you guys came from Illinois.
Yes, sir.
Are the football playoffs a big deal up there, or moving down here did it kind of hit you that, man, these guys really like to get to the playoffs in
yes,
football?
Sir. It's a lot more. In Illinois, it's not as big down there, so it's definitely bigger down here, and everybody wants to get to the playoffs. It wasn't as big as a thing up there in Illinois.
And both you guys were here last year, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you got a taste for how good Friendship Tigers were. Maddux, this team's had a little bit more challenges. Coach told me the other day that this has been one of his more challenging seasons because of the injuries and adjustments. But how fun has this year been for you?
It's been a lot of fun. I'm very thankful I got to play, very thankful I got to stick around with this team. We have been through a lot of ups and downs, but I think it's what brought us together more as a team.
I don't know if this is why Coach brought you three, but you three are three of the guys that have had to kind of jump in and do a little bit more than you expected, or maybe the coaches were counting on you because you lost Chase Campbell. I was going to say something about Jay. I'll tell Jay in between breaks here. And you guys have just adjusted. I think it's been fun to watch you guys, Isaiah coming back from his getting dinged, and then I said this to somebody the other day, watching what Graham Stevens has done that's high school sports right there, and what you guys jumping in there and doing. So coming up on a break, we're going to talk more Friendship Tigers when we come back in the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Friendship Sports. This is the Tigers Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the High School Fan Zone. I'm going to run through the schedule one more time before we jump back in with the Tigers because I want to mention their game again. Friendship at San Angelo Central, and that's a 7 p.m. kickoff. All their other district games have been 7:30, but they've got to drive 3+ hours. I don't blame you for wanting to get back out of that. You guys' games are not short games, and they don't tend to fly by all the time. Maybe the one against Odessa High might have. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff at San Angelo Stadium. Here in town, in a very big game, Monterey is hosting Caprock in District 2 5A Division 1. That will be on 93.7 The Eagle. That's a win and in, lose and out game. Both teams are tied for the 4th spot in District 2 5A, so that's a big one for both those teams. Kingdom Prep's at home at 6 p.m. out at Archie Warwick Memorial Stadium. Warriors are in a weird spot right now. They're not in the playoffs. They could get into the playoffs. May have to be a wild card. They basically have to win. That's pretty easy math for them. Friday night in the HubCPreps.com game of the week, Coronado and Lubbock High, 7 p.m. at Lowry Field. Neither team's in the playoffs. That's just for a lot of pride, and I'm fired up to see that one. Jay will get a kick out of this. I've got to be on the field pregame for 2 weeks in a row because that's my daughter's senior night. You've had to be out there coaching and being a dad. That's got to be tougher than anything.
Yeah,
especially with your baby daughter.
Emotions tied up in that, you know, for sure. Especially when the last one.
Yep, exactly.
Which we did last year.
That's what I'm going through Friday. I'll say it again. She promised me she'd stop at 7, and she lied to me. She just kept getting older. Let's see. Levellands at Liberty. Patriots took care of business last week, beat Estacado 49-22. They got a share of their district championship. As Joe Sexton said Monday night, he wants his guys to be selfish. They want that thing all alone, which Friendship went through last year. You wanted that. You tied it, I think, the next to last week and took care of business the next. That's 7 p.m. That is on 93.1 Young Country. Trinity Christian's at home against Midland Christian. The Lions won last week, so they've got a shot at the playoffs. Got to beat a really good Midland Christian team that these Friendship guys have gotten to know the last couple of years. Lubbock Christian clinched their district championship last week. They're at home against Willow Park Trinity, and Isaiah will understand this. Those guys are they're rounding into form right now. This is the time of year when they kind of start aiming for what they're aiming for. So, and one more game, Christ the King is at home at 4 p.m. against Amarillo Holy Cross. It's really cool. Christ the King's the only unbeaten team in Lubbock. They're off to the best start, I think, Corey Porter has said, in program history. They've clinched a district championship, and the last time they had their own outright district championship was 2008. So they've got a chance to do that Friday afternoon over at Christ the King. We'll probably hit the volleyball schedule one more time when we come back. But Jay, we talked earlier this week, and I'll give you a chance to publicly scold me if you want to. I know your guys come out every week and play for the same thing, but have you noticed, that was Monday when we talked, we're 2 days later. Have you talked to them, or have you seen them talk about, we want to go down there, we don't want to come back and play one more game here? Is that something they've kind of made you understand that they want to do?
Yeah, I mean, we don't ignore that. We've talked about that. I mean, we're always going to focus on one game at a time because that's what you have to do. But I also think it's important to know, what you're playing for and what's ahead of you, And so whether you want to call that extra motivation or not, maybe it is. I don't know that we should have to need extra motivation, to go out and win a district game. But I do think we need to know what our situations are and what's ahead of us for sure.
Because we got junior, senior?
Junior.
Sophomore, junior.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this is not the end of the line for any of you guys. So that incentive's not necessarily there. But to talk to I can't remember who I talked to today. What I think is really cool at this time of year is when these guys, football's brotherhood. You're playing for everybody, but those seniors want to keep playing for a while. You guys, do you feel a little bit extra fire thinking, I want to make sure these guys get another week, maybe get to play at home? You guys have not been here as long. Isaiah's coming back, but how fired up are you to let the seniors know that you want to keep them playing for a while?
Yes, sir. You're definitely playing for one another, especially playing for those seniors to get them another week, make a deep playoff run. It just feels good to get them another week. It feels like you're doing your job. It's just always 1 week at a time.
Because you guys are going to be in that spot sooner than later. So, Isaiah, you've got a little bit of experience in this playoff stuff. What's it going to be like for you guys to get, not looking too far, but like I said, you're in the playoffs. How excited are you to put on this blue and gold uniform in the playoffs?
I'm really excited. There's nobody else I'd rather do it with, so I'm really excited to do it with this team.
Jay, we talked earlier this week about the little bit difference with you guys playing San Angelo in this game. Last few years, you guys went in with something you needed to do, and they were kind of out of things. This San Angelo team's got a lot to play for too. That, to me, that'll get your guys. That should get their attention too. That those guys want to beat us just as much as we want to beat them.
Yeah, and San Angelo's they're a much improved team this year. Coach Smith is in his second year there. I've known Coach Smith for a long time and coached against him. As a matter of fact, when he was at another school, he's coached at the high school level. He's coached at the college level. And so I think you're seeing some of that experience pay off, this year with the growth that they've made, and they're going to be a tough opponent. But as usual, Randy, we're going to be ready for the challenge.
We will. I bet you will. Come back after the break. We've got one more segment of the Tiger Fan Zone, 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Friendship Sports. This is the Tigers Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the High School Fan Zone. We've got one more segment tonight, one more segment this week. It's the end of the regular season in football. The Tigers are in the playoffs. Let me run through my list. I may have to do this off the top of my head unless I can find this real quick. As usual, there's going to be a big contingent of Hub C teams in the playoffs. It's a little bit different this year. There's some on the kind of on the fence right now, and Lubbock Cooper had to win last week to get there. Friendship is in 6A Division II. Monterey's got to win to get into 5A Division II, Division I. Lubbock Cooper is in. Their regular season's over. They'll be they're the number 3 seed out of District 2 5A. They're headed to El Paso, which is where Monterey will head if they take care of business. Liberty and Estacado are both in, and Levelland out of District 2 4A Division II. Just a matter of seeding and who gets in now. Trinity Christian has to win to get in. Lubbock Christian's already in. Christ the King's already in. Kingdom Prep can get there. So it's just like any other year, Lubbock's going to have plenty of high school football action going on. Jay, how many years in a row is this for Friendship?
Playoff-wise?
I forgot. That was a bad question. I should have asked that because I'm bringing up something bad.
This will be 4 years in a row.
4 years. Should have been
5.
longer.
Yeah.
Ironically, San Angelo Central. But that coaching staff is gone. So you don't have to have any voodoo dolls or anything out for those guys.
No.
But you do have to have a team ready, and you started to talk about it. San Angelo's, they've had a good season. And where did Coach Smith come from?
Before he was here, I can't remember exactly what college he was at, but he was at OU for a while, and then he bounced around to a couple others, and then landed back in the high school ranks just this past season.
So, Maddux, grab the mic there. We've talked about you guys' Midwestern roots, and I'm a big Midwestern proponent because I'm from there. Payton talked a little bit about how different it is, just for you. What's it been like the last couple of years? Because Jay could go to a college and coach because he's got that experience. He has that organization stuff. What's it been like to be a part of high school football in Texas?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different of an atmosphere. Coming here definitely gives you a lot more opportunities, coaching-wise, facilities-wise. I mean, we were just in awe when we moved here, just by meeting how many people they have on a coaching staff or all the resources they have. It was definitely a big adjustment at first, getting used to the new people, new coaches, new team. But we definitely have started to fit in a lot better, and we're loving it here.
Coach mentioned when we were coming back, you're a basketball guy too.
Yes, sir. Basketball and track.
So Coach Page is your other guy that you deal with.
Love Coach Page.
There's a little bit of different personalities between those two head coaches.
Yeah. Coach Page always brings a lot of energy, a lot of intensity.
And he needs to be very calm this year. If you're listening, Paul, calm down a little bit. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yes, he does.
He's to hang around for a while. You're baseball.
Yes, sir.
So pass that mic on. So Coach Reynolds, did you know Coach Reynolds played a little football?
Yes, sir.
Coach knows he played a little football.
Unfortunately, I do, Randy.
Yes, you do. Did he beat Plainview back in the day?
They didn't beat us, but he did throw a touchdown on me in high school.
So what has Coach told you much about his football background?
No, sir.
So I got here in the late 90s, just missed him playing in football. I knew who he was. His dad was a coach for a long time. And we were talking, I said, you used to coach football? He said, yeah, I coached a little football. I played here. And just kind of nonchalantly said, I was an all-state quarterback. You were in Texas, brother. If you're an all-state quarterback in Texas, you've done some pretty good things. So
yeah.
Don't let him fool you into thinking he doesn't know anything about football.
Yes, sir. That's him. He's very mellow, very nonchalant. He's just a calm person. That's just how you know him.
Yes, I've seen him in 7 years. I think I've seen him get excited at a game maybe twice, and they both happen to be against Odessa Permian, which is a whole different world. Pass that to Isaiah. And Isaiah, I'm saying this for you. You've had the benefit of playing for two really good guys that are coaching football. What do we decide? Softly has you by 1 year?
Well, 1 year here in our tenure here, maybe that's the case.
I think
he definitely doesn't have as much gray hair as I do.
No, and he's got little kids. It's coming. And if he's listening, he knows. I've sent him pictures of what I looked like before. I think Jay and I compared pictures. So you've had the benefit of playing for two really good guys.
Yes, sir, I have.
And you're on a team now that's headed to the playoffs. I think we're coming out. Yep, we are. I don't want to get in trouble with Kyler here, so we'll wrap it up in the Tiger Fan Zone. We'll talk to you next week when we come back on Monday.